All right. Ooh, I forgot to add the stinger, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Whamenqt is back on production, so that means that everything is gonna go wrong. Everything all this time at the same time. Let's go fix that stinger from the get-go. But Molly, how closely have you been watching the Homestead Cup?
I was watching the last qualifiers, and
Mm-hmm.
we saw, let's say, like we saw MSN lose to Voldy. So we will see how he will do today. He's going to be playing against Cat, and I think that's going to be the series that we are going to be starting with. If you're going to look at their past games, they played in the EGCTV Master Summer last time, and it ended up in 3-1 for MSN. So we will see how well the Cat will do today.
The cat for a while was actually pretty scary. People were saying that he was going to be up there with B, and for a second it did look like that. But MSN, he's been looking a little bit feisty as well. So MSN now looking a little bit more consistent. Well, Cat, he's fallen off quite a bit here, but I do think that the Danish man or the Danish lad still needs to solidify his performance. But guys, we can see, taking a look at the rest of the bracket as well, we can see Beastie taking down Baxter 3-0, Scatterbrain taking down 3-1 Gento, big upset there. Demu getting a forfeit win there by Louise, so Myriad and Ramen, we want to see what's going to be cooking over there as well. But we can see there are a few more scores pending, but as to be expected, the first round having quite a bit of 3-0s with that little bit of a elo difference between the two, or seeding difference.
Exactly, that's good. That's something we can expect in the first rounds, and later on we are going to be seeing those long series that gonna be starting to come slowly but surely through.
So let's take a quick look at the lobby and see exactly what these guys were deciding to go up against with each other. And for now, you guys are going to just see the map and the picks and the bans. But what I like about this is I want to see what not just the top players are vetoing, but rather what we're seeing from people who might be just outside there, like MSN, just someone who is constantly showing us a bit of himself, but not too much. So, thoughts here on the bans or the insta snipes you see here, Molly?
Like we see that MSN is gonna go for the China pick early on over here, and that's maybe because he wants to start with the victory. China is one of the strongest civs in the game that we can see from him. Also, there is that signature Abbasid from him, and Iobids as well. Some of his most played civs. I'm a bit surprised about seeing OOTD, but at the same time we have a 4 lakes, so can be reasonable over there. But HRE is picked at the same time. Definitely going to be interesting if you are going to go for the longer matches and for the full best of 5.
Yeah, a best of 5 is forcing people into a little bit of a different gameplay, because most players, when they're playing tournaments, they don't usually make it out of the best of 3s. So often we do see people only being comfortable on a handful of civilizations. But I know MSN, he's a bit of a chef when it comes to dealing with his opponents. So he cooks. That's what I mean. But guys, anyway, let's hop on into our first game. We have it all the way out here from the middle of nowhere. Let's go see what it looks like for Mr. Cat and MSN. Now, Coastal Cliffs, Molly. Walk me through this map a little bit.
So, Coastal Cliffs, it's basically Arabia but smaller, right? We still have 2 deer pegs and free berry spawns for each player, which is very good, but at the same time it's very raidable because it's kinda at the same spot. So that's why civilizations like French and civilizations like Delhi can be very good over here. Delhi specifically because of the Ghazi raiders. China is also very good pick thanks to the Barbican and the smaller size of the map. Barbican is going to be securing a lot of food resources, or just plop it down on the right side next to the deer pack and the berry patch, and you are basically securing the whole right side of the map with 2 small balls as well. That's why these picks are relatively good on the map. And we can see Dome of Fate being played from the Cat, so we are gonna be seeing probably a little bit longer game, or at least we will go to the Castle Age. MSN aging up also a little bit faster thanks to China's bonus. Uh, he's probably not going for the Barbican, so we are going to be seeing some feudal integration most likely.
Now, getting the Dome of the Faith has been a pretty standard opening, I would say, for most daily players. Oh, look at that cat being a bit more cheeky, getting a piece of meat right there next to the berries, just as a little aftertaste. But the Dome of the Faith we've been seeing constantly coming out of the Delhi. I think when we look at Taklak, that's usually where you get a bit more variety from these civilizations. But you know your opponent is gonna be snacking on the deer, and we've seen this map be a very formidable pro scouting map. So even though we have MSN here, which honestly, he doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who would conform to something like a pro scouting meta, but time and time again, on coastal cliffs, people know how important it is to secure that deer. But like you mentioned, there's also the Barbican that can do most of the work for him.
Like exactly, and also with the MS's map spawn, it's nearly perfect. Like that's one of the best spots for the Barbican, right next to the relic, or actually right next to the berry patch down over here, securing basically gold, double food source, and double wood line at the same time. Like it's gonna be one of the strongest defensive points if he decides to go for it. He was kind of lucky on the spawn. On the other side, Cat has both of his deer packs in front, so going for the professional scouts is going to be something that he wants to go for, and that's why they are in research right now. He's prioritizing them before the horticulture. And we are going to probably see Cat going for the pro scouts. MSN doesn't look like he's going for the pro scouts. He's going to try to deny it with the horseman spearman play. And he's going for a triple composition, actually, archers as well. This is something that China does really, really good thanks to the IOs. You can just supervise the building that he actually needs the units from and get a lot of the counter units for the enemy composition.
That's the disgusting part about China. China just gets to diversify at the blink of an eye. And the archers of China, it does feel pretty good when your opponent is opening with spears. Now, Cat going for a little bit of a different opening with Delhi. And this is something we don't see that often. The blacksmith being the priority here too. But no Ghazi Raiders, and usually with Ghazi Raiders, you do get that control on the map most of the time, forcing your opponent off of their gold, but MSN already played with that in mind. So, Cat's adjusting to the fact that he knows that MSN is a little bit of a sneaky boy that doesn't mind changing up a bit of the game.
Like, yes, not opening Ghazi Raiders may be a bit, let's say, weird, but I think these players know what they are doing better than we do. So going for mass spearman is for me weird a bit. I don't know what that was supposed to achieve. I would definitely like to see those Ghazi Raiders or stables for the scouts if we are going for the pro scouts. And stables are going to be plopping down most likely any minute. And he is forcing himself to go into the archers because MSN is going mass archer, mass spear. And we are going to be taking first villager on the berry patch, ladies and gentlemen. MSN leading on a villager count, and villager kills by 1 already.
And this from Cat, you can see how desperate he was to already get that man alive. But with this choice of going for professional scouts, this has been an interesting take, in my opinion. The fact that you're willing to forgo horticulture this early on to get pro scouts, but you just don't have the control of the map, this feels like something that can stack up pretty quickly. Now he has to fall back onto a sheep, which does mean you get into a little bit of a Delhi situation that you definitely do not want to be. Now the problem is as well with the spawn, the next berry patch denied, gold completely switched off, and there's no fallback gold or anything that he can just say, hey, we will rotate elsewhere. But Cat, he does still have no aggression here on the woodline. So with the army being one big mass, MSM is just hoping to mass up, deny some resources, and Cat, he should be able to keep on producing as long as MSN's mass cannot split in two.
Like, Cat is definitely on a bit of a timer, right? Like, even though pro scouts are going to be coming in, MSN is just leading in the army and going to be taking an engagement. We'll be picking up probably 1 or 2 archers over here. Spearmen are going to be engaging, but they are probably not going to do much because we don't have any Ghazi Raiders on the field, so they are just a meat shield. Archers taking a fight, and we saw a very small unit trade. Actually, that's something that Cat wants to do because he has a monks, so he will be able to heal everything that's going to be damaged. This is the exact scenario that he wants to go for. Just small trades with the archers, just one hit here and there, and later on he will heal his archers. And for the next fight, he will have the HP advantage.
Now, getting that bit of an HP advantage for Delhi has always been the best part of them. The problem for Cat is here, he's investing a lot into that archer composition, but MSN has read him like a book and now decided to go for horses instead. Now, behind all of this, he's getting his upgrades, he's making sure that this starts trickling in, and the most important is, while we were looking away, that Pro Scouts has come in for MSN, and that's the beauty of China, or I guess also the toxicity of China. The fact that China has so many taxes, they just get to buy Pro Scouts without even touching the gold afterwards.
Exactly, and this is going to be skyrocketing MSN's income. Like he isn't on those deer yet, but eventually he will start to send villagers back on them, and we can expect full income to skyrocket by 10% immediately. So if he wants to do it, he will be able to rush up Castle Age. For now, they have the very similar unit counts, but we need to adjust for the monks from the cat. So actually, MSN is going to be leading slightly. We can finally see the +1 armor coming in from the cat. He prioritized +1 damage first. That's going to be probably the most important thing for the Gazi Raiders right now. And going for mass archers, it's good, but I'm not sure if that's what Cat hoped to go for.
I mean, when you're playing Delhi with archers, you're definitely not doing it with the Dome of the Faith, feeling like, hey, this is the best move. This brings me back to those years where we had Tower of Victory and Delhi obliterating everything. But now MSN is the one with the extra legs and making good use of it. A Cat making a very smart decision here by pulling back 2 of his villagers, not being too greedy. But the problem is, it is a little bit late and the villagers...
There's one villager dying if this micro is going to be good by MSN. Poking once, poking twice, and slowly but surely he's going to be able to kill the villager. And no, he's not. Cat actually saving, like 1 or 2 HP. Getting that boy under the TC, Cat doing an amazing job. And dealing with the enemy horsemen, they are nearly dead. Very good job from the Cat.
Now, Marley, when you cast things like that, you need to be very careful not to give them the curse. Because if you cast and you call something, exactly the opposite will happen. It's part of casting. You can't opt out of it, and it's just part of your life. So be very careful not to condemn poor MSN to no villager kills, because the man, he worked for it. And just because you called it, actually, the villagers stayed alive. He was like, nah, I need to make sure that this man's wrong.
And actually, I'm not sure if MSN wants to take this fight. There's a lot of Gazi Raiders and a lot of monks mainly, and nothing that can kill those Gazi Raiders efficiently over here for him. I think this may be a small overextension, but we will see if the fight is going to be taking place. There is still a lot of spearmen, but remember, Cat has 31 archers out on a field. Like, he can kite for minutes if he really wants to, with those monks healing that up. We are going to be slowly but surely taking the engagement, Cat engaging with the archers. Gazi Raiders trying to go in, but spearmen are watching the backs of the archers. MSN trying to commit remember, there are still monks on the field, so prolonged engagement is something that Cat actually wants to take, but number of archers on the field is very, very similar. Slight advantage for the Cat. Spearmen are coming through, but they are just a meat shield. They are not going to do anything. Monks healing everything up, and this is not a fight that MSN wants to be taking, and he's going slowly but surely back home.
Yeah, MSN already stacking up a bit of resources here, and I feel like this is what I would call a responsible castle, because with this... Ooh, I say that, and I just saw all the gold being used. What did he do with all that gold?
Probably abused the market, right?
Oh, there's the market. Disgusting. I was going to say, he's going for a responsible castle, but no. He just says, I need more horses. Getting 2 more stables down, making sure that he is going to be producing a ton, because seeing this army, you know exactly what you need to do. Now, Cat feeling a little bit more confident here after that last engagement. Now, keep in mind, a lot of his deer has been yoinked already, and you think Cat was the one going for Pro Scouts early on. But Cat is the one who gets a handful of deer home, and a bunch of these deer are already going to be mostly decayed and very, very low when they get back to that side. But that's exactly what he needed to do here, just to deny the food off the deli so that the deli doesn't get to Turn that archer mass into 60, 70 archers in feudal. Because we've seen that time and time again. But we do see 11 going straight to gold. And ladies and gents, we all know what that means. Delhi is thinking about the next stage of the game. And this makes a lot of sense. You have this huge archer composition. You already have forced your opponent to invest so much. But now the question is just, is this going to cost him it? Because MSN, he's reinvested pretty wisely.
Like definitely stealing the deer is one of the better plays that MSN could do when he already took all of his. It's not about actually getting those deer packs home. It's more about denying those deer packs for the cat and making his farm transition to come sooner. But at the same time, Cat's sitting on a 50 archers over here, and MSN is heavily investing into the horseman. Cat will be slowly but surely going to the castle edge with double secret sight, double Delhi secret sight. That's a lot of free gold income right there. What is going to be happening? I am not exactly sure if MSN wants to still take a fight. There is significant advantage for Cat out on the field. I'm not sure about this Cat right now. There are no Gazi Raiders in the side, slowly but surely coming back in.
Now, you have to keep in mind, Molly, the problem is those horses don't have anything that will kill them. They are very happily going to run through this front line and eventually get to the archers. You might be thinking, oh, well, but he has the scholars. Yes, but the scholars, they need to be careful here. The horse is very confident to take this fight because the spearmen in between, they are looking good and safe. The archers there's just too much for the archers to pick off. So this is falling apart very quickly.
And Cat running into some problems, needing to go under his TC, probably will need to garrison as well. 34 archers out on the field are going to be probably doing the job for MSN. Scholars are going to be tanking all the damage over here, not something that you actually want to do with them. Every single one of them is slowly but surely going to be dying. Archers between the buildings, so we are making it very, very hard for horsemen to dive it. Gazi Raiders are going to be engaging in. There's still 39 archers out on the field versus 35 again that MSN has. Not looking well for him. We are taking fight under the TC. Cat is slowly but surely losing everything, but for how long can those horsemen hold the TC fire? MSN will need to slowly but surely go back. We cannot be diving that TC. Reinforcements are nowhere near, and Cat will be, for now, staying alive.
Now that's the beauty of when you overcommit just that slight bit, ensuring that he loses the archers under the TC. And now, of course, this gives him as MSN the green light of, hey, you can keep making units, or you can just think about what's next for you. Now, MSN, he's got a lot of villages on food and nothing on gold, but the horses are back and they're looking feisty. But again, MSN is pushing into something that there's just no end result of. Ooh, but getting that Barbican Mali, I think both you and I had this whole idea wrong, because I would have expected him to go a little bit more here. You said down here, but no, the man's like, I need this for the boar. I'm a hungry man, I'm gonna make a lot of units, I'm gonna need every bit of food I can get. And with the horses, still putting on that pressure.
Ooh, that's a very nice pick from the MSN, dealing a lot of damage on that tower, probably taking it down. And even this is very, very worth it. Even though he didn't kill any villagers, just the idle time of the villagers inside of the tower and idle time of making another tower and committing to the investment of 100 wood, this was very, very, very worth it for the MSN. Barbican will go up, and with that, he's going to be securing his part of the map. If we are going to look at the food income, MSN is significantly leading, but the fight is going to be happening, and I don't know if Cat wants to be taking this. This is under the Barbican. Come on, Cat. Like, we cannot be diving this. There's a lot of horsemen from the MSN at the same time. Sure, we still have 40 archers on the field, but I'm not sure if they are going to be doing the job if MSN has 20 horsemen at the same time.
Now, this is just teaching Cat, hey, remember how you were the one diving on the MTC? Yes, I should not be doing that either. So, Cat having to back off, but this is already showing us MSN is repositioning that whole army to stand out here and be ready for it. Cat starting to float quite a bit of resources here, and the thing is, when you're getting into that spot where you're starting to float, you're always asking yourself, okay, is it time now? Is it time now? But the answer is always, are you going to die when you hit castle? And I think both of these players, they had a question mark for a long time here because these fights kept happening and the pressure was constant. With these horses, he does have to garrison a lot in, but only one villager seems to be going down. And the horses, they do need to be careful to not get all picked off here because, again, that TC fire is spicy. And the villagers are doing a really good job at staying alive.
Yeah, Cat microing this perfectly. And right now we can see where the taking Cat's deer are going to be coming into the play. We can see him already transitioning into the farms, while MSN is taking more map control, taking the boards on the map, and still having the back berries at the same time. Cat already needs to switch for the farms, while MSN is delaying his farm switch at this time. That's what is the beauty of taking the enemy's deer pack. Right now, MSN is also switching to farm slowly but surely, but it comes a bit later than the Cat switch. So he could have invested resources into the units or just look for the timing push. We didn't saw any of that. We saw a dive on the wood line that unfortunately killed nearly nothing, and just a lot of horsemen died because Cat microed it perfectly.
Now, Mali, maybe you know, I'm not a Chinese player. Why do people put the granaries right on top of each other like that? Does it boost? Does it give overlap between these? Or is it just because of the space?
It overlaps, but this is not the best place how you want to place the granaries, but it's the quickest one when you want to place the granaries. You don't really want to think for 20 seconds how exactly you want to place granaries for the maximum efficiency on those farms and maximum overlap. You want to just place them down and do your farm transition, and this does job well enough. The overlap is going to be stacking to the 30% bonus, and that's why we are seeing always 3 granaries right next to each other.
Now, we see the villagers again having to run for their lives, but this is a really fast reaction from Cat. As you guys can see down here, 0 villagers have gone down. Oh, actually, I think it's the opposite way around. One villager has gone down. But he keeps them alive. Good on him.
Exactly. But MSN still with the 10 villager lead. Even though only 1 villager died, MSN still has 10 villager lead. Now, why is this the case? Maybe there was some idle time on the Cats TC, but most likely Song Dynasty, gentlemen, 33% bonus on the villager productions. That's what is making the difference over here. The longer we are going to stay on the 1 TC, bigger it's going to get, and MSN is just going to be slowly but surely pulling away in terms of economy.
And that's the difficult part of China. There's just so few places to raid them when they run into their beautiful little Barbican. And you can see Cat is feeling that. He knows this. So with that elephant, he's feeling a little bit more confident about this push. But he's got a lot of unspent resources in the bank, and still a lot of his units not having veterancy. Now, veterancy is about to kick in, but you have to ask yourself here, do I want to dive a Barbican with 1 elephant and a bunch of archers? And I just don't think that is the right move here for Mr. Cat. Now, Cat, much better player than I am, but Cat does not have God vision. He doesn't know that there are a ton of lancers who are going to be able to support this army behind it as well. He's about to find out, though. Look at those lancers just working their way through the Ghazis already.
But I'm afraid if the lancers are actually playing into the Cat's hand, if he's gonna go for a lot of elephants. Like, elephants' archer composition is one that is most formidable in terms of castlage. It kills nearly everything if you have monks behind it and micro it properly. That's what's going to be very, very important. The question still stands if we have economy for it. Because sure, we did our farm transition, sure, we are getting the relics slowly but surely, but our farm transition is, well, it's not really done yet, let's say it like it is. We are making our upgrades, but MSN is just better on it economically. So the question is going to be, can we survive till we will have enough?
Now, with the 2 raid groups, he's definitely looking at trying to make something happen. Because like you said, those elephants, they are pretty good at winning fights. But in that case, you're just going to ask yourself, how do I stop myself from getting into fights? And the answer is very clear, raid. Keep on raiding.
Exactly. MSN using his mobility advantage on the horsemen to its fullest and just raiding. Even though if all of his horsemen are gonna die, it's worth it Just elephants running all the way back to the base, and the idle time from the villagers. It's very, very well worth it. The resources spent on those horsemen, and if that some of them are gonna survive, it's even better. The cat is doing relatively good job in terms of not getting the damage or not getting the damage dealt by MSN. Only one villager went down, the one that we saw at the start of the game with archer rate. But still, I think that he is on a timer. He needs to do something. We cannot just stay in the base and watch MSN boom for next 10 minutes.
Now, the relic count, we can go scroll through there as well to see how many he's gotten. Oh, I missed it. Ah, there we go. 3 to 2, that's fine. But for Cat, this is still a pretty tough one, because you know your opponent is booming and booming and booming and booming, and there's a fight about to happen while the horses are raiding at the back, and those lances are not gonna die too quickly. But you see the crossbows firing at that war elephant.
Oh.
They got some good damage already.
Exactly, and there are no monks over here to support it. I am not really sure why we have 15 monks and we are trying to push with the elephants, but we don't bring the monks. I don't understand this. At the same time, we have 64 archers, but we don't build walls with them. Like, come on, what is this? We have all of these advantages of the Delhi and we are not using them. At the same time, one elephant, I'm not sure if one elephant went down, but slowly but surely, Cat is pushing MSN back because his composition is mainly spearman, archer, crossbowman, and that's heavily countered by mass archer. So Cat for now is gonna be surviving, but I really don't like that we don't see any walls from him, and I really don't like that we are not pushing with the monks.
Now, with those monks, you should have a pretty good ability to just push through that heavy damage from MSN, but MSN is doing that sneaky composition switch. I'm going to mass Palace Guards. Now, Palace Guards, they are always... they're feisty. Oh my goodness, are we about to get us... oh, we got our second villager kill of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, the new MVP, those wolves. Disgusting.
Gaia taking the lead in the villager kills, actually. Very nice to see. But 80 archers are gonna be out on the field, and MSN switching to Palace Guards is actually something that's gonna be heavily countering them. We need to remember, though, that Palace Guards have one less armor than the normal men-at-arms because they have a bonus in the movement. Now, at some point, if we have enough archers, we should be able to start one-shotting 1 or 2 Palace Guards at a time. And if we will be able to have those one or 2 elephants in the front, we should be able to win a fight still, even though MSN is playing the counter units, and that's exactly what's going to be happening over here. MSN will be taking a fight? No, he will not. The Barbican is going to be dying, and Cat is going to be pushing more and more. Double the military advantage nearly, only 20 villagers needed for it. And Cat is gonna be... What is this? Cat! Come on! Don't throw the game!
Now, I always have this saying where archers don't counter a knight, but 60 archers might counter a knight. And that's exactly what Cat is living by. But with that push, we might have gone for a little misclick. He did lose quite a bit there. And now these scholars are the front line as well. The elephants not doing too well against all of the crossbows firing at them, but it does manage to stay alive. The Palace Guards, though, they're doing a pretty decent job at the damage over here. Now, you have to ask yourself, is MSN going to be able to clean this up, though? Because, like you said, the arch composition is so good against crossbows. But let's see if it's going to be good enough. Now, with a little bit of a counter raid here from Cat, the units are in position to clean this up, though. So, the only way Cat loses this is by overcommitting.
Exactly. We have 4 elephants at the front. Like, they are gonna be getting probably one or double shot by 40 crossbows from the MSN. So it's gonna be needed. The micro from the Cat will need to be perfect. Neston deals also coming out on the field, and that's gonna be something that will make the difference. if MSN is gonna take the fights with Nest of Beast properly. And this is the choke point. I don't really like why Cat is running over here. Elephants are getting separated from the archers, and crossbows are just gonna be killing all of them. In the meantime, all the palace guards are diving the archer composition and not looking good for the Cat. Double Nesting Bees out on the field already gonna be taking some shots at those archers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not looking good for the Cat's fight, in my opinion. But at the same time, all those archers are countering all of the crossbows, and the elephants are still standing, even though it's only one scholar still healing, and Nesting Bees are slowly but surely dying.
Now, those Nest of Bees, they got a few decent shots off, but we'll see if this is enough. The thing is, a few of those elephants did fall, and they were so expensive to replace here. Now, with the scholars being pulled, the boys are at the front. The problem is just the archer mass. It's been completely thinned out, and it doesn't look like Cat has the replaceability for this. You can see in the resources per minute, it does look like Delhi is a little bit hungry this time of year, with those elephants just trying to provide that bit of a front line, but the archer numbers are completely gone. And somehow, he's lost most of his archers, and all of a sudden, it looks like MSN is the one who's going to be doing the next push out.
Yeah, MSN is taking the lead in the game right now. His economy is just awesome. If you are gonna look at the resources, 57 villagers on the farms, and he still has more food income than Cat, and his farms are idle because the elephant is raiding them. So yeah, this is not looking well for Mr. Cat right now. But at the same time, the crossbow numbers are down. They are way down. So we will start to have problems with killing the elephants. And if we are gonna get into the point in which monks can out-heal the damage dealt by the crossbows, that's the snowball that's gonna win Cat the game. And that's what he's trying to do right now. Taking the fight. Nest of Beast gonna come on! Not looking well for for Mr. MSN. Slowly but surely diving the woodline with Mr. Cat, and Nestive Beast is trying to kill some archers. But slowly but surely elephants are going to be dying, and not a single elephant inside. Cat will need to run.
Now, I love the fact that he's just making these small missteps that MSN is taking advantage of. The elephant's going a little bit too deep there to get on top of the Nest of Bees, and that just cost him more than 2,000 resources in that last exchange, where MSN sacrificed 2 Nest of Bees. So very quickly, this can skyrocket into the side of MSN. But I was about to say, Cat is the one who's aging up. And going for Palace of the Sultan, it's great, right? But you ask yourself, when can a man age up? And that is when he's not about to die. And with the numbers that I see from MSN here, this is a very risky age up. The crossbows dealing with the Ghazi raiders pretty well, and we see those Nest of Beast shots being quite deadly over here on all the archers. Now he doesn't have a way to get on top of this just yet, and when he hears that age up, that is when he is going to hear an alarm bell in his head saying, you need to push.
Exactly. Cat has such a strong Imperial Age, not because he has good units, even though like hand cannon elephants are one of the best units in the game, but because all of those upgrades are free. That's why the Delhi is so good eventually in Imperial Age. Not so in early Imp, but if you are gonna look like 5 minutes forward with 12 scholars inside of the mosques, all of those upgrades coming in completely free are going to be the game changer. Elephant will be dying though. I don't really like this from the Cat. I don't like why we are taking this engagement when we are aging up to Imp. And why can't we just go under the TC and chill a bit? Like, what is this?
Marley, you're very judgy. I must say, these poor guys, they are microing 600 units at the same time. And you're sitting here and you're like, you made a mistake. Of course. Molly, how did you stack up against Emerson? Did you do better than Cat?
Well, like 2 years ago, I won 3 games against him, okay? 2 years ago, I won 3 games against him. Maybe not today. Today, maybe he will be a little bit better.
Okay.
I can say that. I can say that. And yes, of course, it's way easier for us to judge the mistakes of these players when we are just looking at one specific part of the game and they need to macro thing at the strategy wall and do all the stuff at the same time. So Cat definitely has it a little bit harder. And especially the defender in AoE has it way harder than the attacker. He needs to be looking at the villagers. He needs to be the one to move the economy. And the attacker just attack moves and doesn't really care that much.
Now, MSN is not a dirty A mover like the rest of us, so I do trust in this man, and that's the problem with MSN. He is an absolute menace. He's gonna make sure that you make mistakes and then push out. So Mr. Cat, he might be singing his last meow this game because this push, it doesn't feel like it's the same as the early game one that MSN maybe overcommitted a little bit here under the DC.
Yeah, exactly. Like this push did a lot already. 21 villager kills are in the side of the Cat and 11 in the side of the MSN. So Cat taking a lead slowly but surely, but I don't really like this. All of the farms are idle. We have only 25 villagers on the food. Sure, no, we have something in the queue, but at the same time, not a lot. In the meantime, MSN has 61 villagers on a farm setup. Like, his food is infinite. On the other side, Cat is struggling with 30.
Well, you have to keep in mind, Cat is getting himself a singular elephant in 30 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is gonna have one elephant on the field, and this is a spicy one. But this thing might look like a bazooka, but it's not. It's just a little hand cannoneer. So this is not going to be the answer he needs to a very scary push that's underway. Cat, though, sitting here in Imperials, thinking to himself, okay, I've got Imp, I just need the time, I'm still getting my upgrades, but he just doesn't have the upgrade speed, he doesn't have the scholars to make sure that this comes in timely, and it's just feeling very scary for him. These rams are not something that Cat can respond to right now, and a few more villagers paying the price. This man, he might be a little bit cooked here, Mali.
Yeah, raiding at the same time, and we must think about one thing: no wood lines are left for Mr. Cat, so he's mining kind of straggle trees. At the same time, MSN is gonna be diving slowly but surely with mass police guard, mass crossbowman, composition that is gonna be countering the cat's composition. Yes, we have the one Elephanto out on the field, but it's not enough. Those hand cannon elephants, you need like 3 or 4 of them to make a significant difference. That's when they are so strong. That's when they are going to be starting to mess up. The fight is going to be taking place. Some Gazi Raiders are on the field as well, so they are going to be taking a lot of shots from the crossbows. But remember, Nest of Bees are still over here at the same time. Bombards are made from Mr. Cat, going to be trying to snipe all the Nest of Bees. But the fight is just not enough units for him. MSN is winning with mass crossbowmen against mass crossbow plus guys.
Now, these are also not Imperial crossbows, guys, and I think this is what caused the major issue. Gazi Raiders also just jumping on top of the crossbows, and usually they'd be able to do an amazing job. But these upgrades, they are about to hit in 30 seconds. That is a lifetime when there's a push in your base like this. And you guys can see a crossbow here desperately trying to fight a massive army in front of him, and these rams are doing the work. Cat, he's got an idle economy and a very scary opponent that's not looking at slowing down. We see red dots all around. MSN, he's not looking at him. He's just going to make sure that he wins this. We do see a little bit of a migration here to the front already with the gold. He's feeling confident. He's got the barracks at the front, and this is just going to be a constant stream of units.
Exactly, we can see Whamenqt out on the field, so he is gonna be playing for the counter, but there is enough palace guards to take care of it, and they are not stopping. And remember, gentlemen, 61 villagers on food over here. MSN is not in need of resources. Like, his economy is infinite. On the other side, Cat's economy is 800 food. Not looking very well for him, and GG is gonna be called. MSN taking the lead in the best of 5, 1-0.
Now, 1-0 is a pretty scary start. Just because, you know, this is just the best of 5. And you're going to get knocked out pretty quickly. This is a single elimination bracket. So these boys, they have a lot to fight for. Now, guys, this is the second week of the Homestead Cup Qualifiers. So Fridays are just our warm-up days for the first round to take place. And people kind of get to feel it out a little bit to make sure that they are ready for it. We wanted to make sure that people are not forced to play more than one set per day so they can prepare, so they can give it their all. Because we've heard some complaints that people get tired as these go on. So let's see if MSN is going to be our victor for that first round. But guys, before we do, let's go take a quick look at the bracket again, now that more of you have gathered here. And we can then see that after this round, depending on who wins, this is going to be Numadan as the next opponent. And honestly, guys, Numadan, this man, he comes in, he looks scary, he gets out. He doesn't look scary all the way to the end, usually. And this is something we want to see out of Numadan for once. We want this man to reveal a bit more of himself consistently throughout. But now, with this group, this is going to be a pretty scary one nonetheless. But guys, before we get too deep into it, let's go into our next game and see what these chads are going to be doing on Holy Island. Oh, I think oh, there's the button. Never mind. It's all good in the hood. Ladies and gents, we're back and we are on the holiest of islands. It feels like it's upside down.
We can see, yeah, it feels like it's upside down, actually. We can see, oh, TD against Japan. So Japan is one of the better picks on the maps, thanks to the Shinobi and thanks to the cheaper fishing ships. On the other side, OOTD having the chapel and and having the better villagers is going to be something that's going to be making a difference later on. Chapel is going to be making a difference early, but better villagers are going to be making a difference in an imp and forward. On the other side, we can see like pretty standard opening, both players going for docks and probably for the fastest age up as is possible.
Now, usually the big question is how many docks do they invest in the early game? And we can see with Japan, that's a pretty easy question to answer. Now, while the docks are normal priced, we know that the fishing boats are so much cheaper. So for him, this makes a lot more sense to just invest in that economy. But we can already see this is going to make a significant difference because MSN, he's already getting his chapelle quite early on, and that's a lot of food, Marley. That's a lot of food. This man's not going to be hungry.
That's a lot of food. Exactly. The only thing that's kind of is, you know, like he's not going to be gathering it. Like he has fishing ships at the moment. He doesn't really need it. In case of losing the water, those ships are going to be playing a huge role, but not now. Right now, the fight is going to be looking just at the water. First aeroship is going to be rushed by MSN. I'm not sure if it's going to be doing a lot of damage, but because Cat is rushing up the age up with the 10 villagers. But yes, Cat's economy is way bigger. 5 more fishing ships right now. So if he can just survive this, he's going to be in the better spot. Triple dock may have been a little overcommitment. We don't have enough wood for the sprinkle ship, and we don't have enough wood for the arrow ship.
Yeah.
I don't really like triple dock from him, but I can understand it.
Oh, but he didn't do it for the ships, to produce the ships. Because usually, okay, so Twitch chat, this is because we love explaining stuff. You want to ask yourself, how many docks do I need? Well, it's how many docks you can afford, how many you're actually going to be able to capitalize on. But Cat, he's not asking that question. He says, I just need enough to make sure all my fishing ships are safe, and then I will deal with the production. So, in essence, maybe this man 5-headed all the way and showed us a new way of thinking about the water here, especially for Japan, where they will have more fishing boats, because again, they are just so much cheaper. But MSN, he's getting rock, papers, and scissors, and looking at putting a lot of pressure on the water already. Now, what I love behind this is that he's gotten an archer in the mix as well, because OOTD archers, they are going to handle the shinobis with a smile.
Exactly, they are machine guns. So Shinobi will have some trouble trying to disable those dogs, but the question is gonna be still water. I like the idea from the Cat. I like the triple dog setup. But there was some idle time from the fishing ships, but it wasn't significant. So actually, I think this play paid off from him. And why are we seeing more fishing ships actually?
Now,
Like,
this is
are we
something...
doing fast castle?
No. You have to consider this is not the standard type of play we see on Holy Island. Because again, we talked about how it's a little bit different when you get out of the top 8 and on water. Cat, he doesn't want to fake a water fight because this is not something that he practices all the time. MSN, he probably has the same idea. He's like, oh, what if this guy actually plays water enough? Because MSN, he is investing, but he's not putting any pressure. He doesn't want to take those risks. Cat, though, he says, I don't want to fight water all that much, but I will put some pressure on land. Getting double horsemen is going to handle the archer, but it's also going to put pressure down that forces MSN to react. MSN, though, with those 3 on gold, he gets to decide pretty quickly if he wants to go for a fast castle or not. And look at that. MSN, he knows the struggles and the risks.
Exactly. Emerson saw that one horseman that attacked his scout and immediately fast walling all of the wood lines. Shinobi can get over the wall over here exactly. So this wall is not going to be doing nearly anything against the Shinobi exactly because MSN is in a bit of a trouble. And this is a lot of idle time. This is giant amounts of damage, hundreds of resources wasted just by Shinobi running through over here. Not looking well for the boy.
Now that wall getting deleted was absolutely wild to see as well. He knew that Archer is going to be his saving grace, but quickly switching to a Spearman instead. Seeing the Horseman switch up tells you, hey, I don't want to be risking this against someone with a direct counter. Eventually it's going to matter. But the fact that you have that many units, it tells me a story. It tells me a story about what is going on the water, and MSN, he knows. He's the one who needs to go across and actually just shut down. Because if you have this much on land, you don't have that much on water.
The problem is that MSN had all of this army on water at all the time while the cat was diving. And cat right now is again investing into the Springle ships because he is predicting that, okay, MSN just saw that I'm making a lot of horsemen, I made a lot of shinobi, so he's going to be trying to put pressure on water. In the meantime, when MSN actually had a giant advantage on water, he wasn't taking a fight. He was staying defensive. And Cat used it to his advantage. Right now, we are going to be starting to see some fights on water going to be happening. MSN still on the lead in terms of the ships, but not in terms of the docks. Over here, this is going to be very, very problematic for him to dive. You never know when that demo can come out of the dock. This is going to be very awkward for us.
And we can see there's a lot of demos in queue. There was actually 4 in queue, but he cancelled a bunch of them. And that's quite surprising to see. Ooh, the horseman, though, very quickly getting taken down. It looks like 4 dead horsemen soon. That spearman is doing a ton of work. The archer just being a little bit of a bait here. You can see, oh, that shinobi also quickly going down. But the spears, they're just there for good vibes and good baits. But a
very nice shot from the cat. Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Or against Cat, at least. MSN is the man who's cooking. Okay, I was about to say, we all...
He saw it. It's fine, it's fine. That would be like 1 Springle ship dead, another one heavily damaged, so good job from MSN seeing that and microing it away. 3 Springle ship in the queue. That's a lot. Cat is trying to fight on water, and Cat has a significant advantage in terms of workers thanks to those ships. Like he has doubled the fishing ships out on the field than MSN. His early play with the triple dock definitely paid off.
Now, he has to actually use those resources, though, and right now, you might say, okay, he does have that economic lead, but is he using it effectively right now? There's a lot of food in his bank. He's not making units on land the whole time. Might he be thinking about going castle? Because if you do on a map like this, it's so risky, because 1 bit of extra resources you invest there means your water is going to be exposed. Now, Cat is pushing very far forward, and only with, or mostly Springald ships, this does feel pretty scary against imminent incendiary ships that will follow. But Cat has his own, and he's investing in a lot more. He knows how this goes.
6 demos are in a queue, and actually out in the field right now. They just popped out. That's not going to be a Springle ship going down. I got a heart attack nearly. Cat is still holding water really, really well. Like, it's even. MSN doesn't have any demos out, so Cat can try to take a fight right now with 8 demos. But MSN will be going up for the castle edge most likely. The question is gonna be: are we gonna see the Regnets, or are we gonna see the Burgrave? Because both plays can be justified over here, and Burgrave is gonna be the choice for the MSN. We are gonna be probably seeing a lot of the men-at-arms and a lot of the spears.
Now, if you go for men-at-arms, it makes a lot of sense. You have a unit that your opponent just doesn't have an answer to right now. And the problem is, going for a Burgrave, you are usually not always in a position to produce from it constantly, because that's what makes the Burgrave so valuable for Order of the Dragon. Their units are cheaper, but if you don't go for the Cathedral, obviously you're not getting that extra gold. But with the Burgrave, if you're constantly producing, it stacks up pretty quickly, and it definitely gives you your Regnus value out of it. But with fishing, that becomes a lot easier. The problem is, Cat realizes there's something going on, and he's going for it, but Demo Ship's going on both sides, and this is going to be a deadly connection.
Oi, 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 this is going to be all the sprinkles dying on the side of the Cat. Not looking well for him. Only 5 sprinkle ships remaining, 3 out on the field over here. And MSN is taking definitely a lead on water. At the same time, he's taking a lead in the age. Now looking very well for the young gentleman.
Now, he's going for Gilded Spearman behind this, and I'm honestly a little bit surprised to see him going to double commit on the spears, but it makes sense. It makes sense. You're already dealing with a unit that is wonderfully strong, and your opponent just made horses. That is the only unit you have confirmation on. And you're gonna like diving with those. You know, they are still chunkier than the others, and we did see the fact that the gold is running quite a bit lower. But MSN, he is cooking, and he's cooking on every bit of land and water. You can see the ships, they're just circling in, ready to go launch an attack. But the food is starting to stagnate a bit here. With him not saturating all of these little splashes of ponds, you're just not getting that income I talked about earlier. The fact that you need to constantly produce. So right now, the spears are the affordable ones. And let's see if he's gonna actually make Cat quake in his boots, because now archer range coming out. And I was about to say this. You go for samurai and you're like, okay, great. But against Order of the Dragon spears, those things melt pretty quickly. And archers will need to come out, but he says mounted samurai it is. Does probably not know about this heavy investment into the spears already.
MSN trying to take a bigger lead on the water, but Cat is defending it nicely, taking down the 2 arrow ships. But right now, there's gonna be at least 1 sprinkler ship dying over here. Very good job from Mr. Cat, and sniping that push that MSN did over here. Even though that Cat has the lead in terms of the fishing ships, MSN has the lead in terms of the food economy. So right now, those ships under the chapel are definitely taking into account, and we are mass spamming spearmen from the Burgrave, and at the same time making crossbows, heavy counters against those mounted samurai. So that's not actually that Cat wants to play, but he's investing in it yet again and again. MSN predicting him precisely, and not looking good for Mr. Cat on land. So he's gonna be trying to push on the water.
And getting that water control is definitely something he needs, because as this game goes on, he sees those relics disappearing from the map. MSN is doing a pretty good job at picking up all of these, and even though he didn't go for chapel, these outposts are still gonna be just that bit better. They are Order of the Dragon after all, especially with that relic inside, and at this point, ooh, already 5 on the way. This man is going to be drowning in gold, even without that chapel. But now crossbows coming out still. With a handful of spears extra, it just doesn't look like Cat has the composition. And I'm a little bit confused, because earlier he invested so much into rushing up this archery range. But right now, he hasn't produced a single thing from it.
Exactly, he rushed it up, AFK villagers for 15 seconds and not made anything. And right now we can see Yumi in the queue. So actually something that will heavily counter MSN. But we wanted to see them a little bit earlier. He still has a lot of wood, so it would be nice to see another 2 or 3 archer rangers out on the field. MSN sitting on 4 relics. Cat was able to snipe the monk that was taking the 5th one. But remember, gentlemen, every single relic is 80 gold a minute. That's basically 2 villagers on the go till the rest of the game. And MSN is gonna be taking even this one. Looks like it's gonna be 5 relics for MSN or 10 villagers on the gold for the rest of the game.
Now, Cat is trying to utilize every bit of fish he's got here on the water, but this is still scary, because looking at all of this, there's 9 springle ships, and those 9 springle ships are going to be able to do quite a bit of damage. The thing is, Cat does have the numbers on water, but again, if you have the numbers on water, it means you do not have the numbers on land. So Cat is desperately trying to get more Yumis out, and a stray villager will alert the fact that there is a big army about to make a little bit of a visit here. So those Yumis cannot wait to get out quicker. The mounted samurai, they do need to be careful because we've seen a few of them already fall victim to these spears.
Exactly, but MSN's army is split right now, half on a dog, half trying to dive the gold. So even if Cat would want to, he could try to kill some of it, but MSN is gonna be slowly but surely backing off, putting all of it together, and then going for the push again. 7 OOTD crossbows is a lot of crossbows, and 19 OOTD spearmen is a lot of spearmen. Even though the numbers are not ginormous, it's double the population over here. MSN is a significantly better army right now if he will want to take a fight. Cat realizing it and starting to switch into the mass Yumi, but at the same time, the mounted samurai are coming in. Some Onamushas are going to be coming in as well. I would love to see mass Yumi. I'm not sure why are we still going mounted samurai, because everything that MSN does counters them. And why are we not just spamming Yumi from 3 or 4 archer range? But it's way easier for us to say because we can just see what MSN is going for, and Cat is working with a lack of knowledge, in my opinion.
Now, with the knowledge he has, he keeps seeing these little raids, and that's probably what Cat is thinking himself, like, okay, I just need to keep making horses so that I can keep raiding. But the raids have not been giving him any results. And now he's starting again to float quite a bit of food because, of course, you have all this extra income on the water, but how can you use it? Now with 28 fishing boats, and this is starting to get to a number where you might start overfishing. But right now, Emerson is not thinking about the man probably overfishing. He is just thinking about getting a keep up in the base, and that is so dirty. This is so MSN of him.
That's get out of my game keep right here, but 2 mangoes are out on the field. Even though there is a lot of mounted samurai, they are gonna be disappearing against those spears right here. And I'm not sure if that's enough Yumi out on the field. Mangoes are firing, crossbows are having a hard time. Villagers standing over there ready for the repairs to come in. Repairs are coming in. Maybe there's gonna be 1 mango going down, the left one, we are not really sure. But those gilded crossbowmen are gonna be killing everything over here. They are doing too much damage, and Yumi were not in time to kill all of the spearmen. MSN winning the fight, keep going down, and this is not looking good for them.
Problem is, when you get into this spot, you're like, okay, I can possibly win this, but Order of the Dragon's army is so deceiving. You think it looks even, and all of a sudden you realize, oh yes, these guys do double the damage, they have double the health, and they melt everything in front of them. And we're seeing that with the Yumis. The Yumis are just being made into historic paste with all of these shots inside of them. And now the villagers are next on the menu, and even though the water army looked impressive, it is still idle to this minute, and the keep here at the front is just gonna stop anything from coming on out. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is gonna be game number 2. MSN now up 2-0. Disgusting.
Exactly. This is a perfect position for MSN to be in. Next game, if he wants to, he can afford to go for he can afford to go for more of a not as good of a pick, and we are gonna see OOTD on 4 likes.
I think our draft might just be a little stepbrother stuck right now, so give it a second to recover.
It happens from time to time. Happens from time to time. It is what it is. We are gonna be. I'm not sure if MSN wants to go for the killing blow right now. Like he has an option to play more of the worst safe and let Cat waste one of the better civilization that he picked. And Cat is definitely gonna be going for something good if you are gonna be going for the 4 likes. I think one of the stronger picks that he picked. I'm not really sure if MSN wants to go for the. I'm looking at the tips, but if this is 4 lakes, I don't really like MSN's thief pool right now. Only really good civilization, by my opinion, would be HRE, but the cat can try to counterpick it if he really, really wants to.
So we already see the picks and bans there as they've been updated now. We have Mongols versus Ayyubids. And honestly, I love Mongols on this map. We've seen it so many times. So guys, let's hop on in and see what these two are opening with game number 3 and match point. So MSN, he is ready to take this. The man has shown us he can cook, but he's up against a very scary civilization. We've seen Mongols on this map again and again just being something that most people cannot handle. But in this case, let's see if MSN is the one that has all the answers that a lot of people have been looking for.
Ayyubid not the usual pick for this map, for one reason only. You want to go for those beautiful timing pushes, but it's very hard to get them with the House of Wisdom and slower age ups. If we are going to be looking, at Advancement Wing, aka Culture Wing, but that it's just a cheaper age up. So we are not looking for double dervish coming out and trying to raid with some test raiders. We are going to be trying to look maybe to place some dog on the cat side of the map, or maybe to go for some raids early on. We will see what MSN will cook up over here.
Now, him hitting castle, feudal age so quickly, this is going to put a little bit of pressure here on Cat of, hey, maybe I should have been thinking about this myself. And now, that dog from MSN already coming out, and this is his response. He says, you've invested, but let me win and then take over completely. Because now he's got the wood in the bank. He's going to make that first boat any second now. The Advancement Wing showing us exactly what it was here for, and that is to put that early game pressure on his opponent. Cat, he's trying to get there, but it's going to take a while. That investment on the dock, the secondary dock as well, Barley, or 9.
But he canceled the fishing ships, so he knows about this. Because if he wouldn't know about this, he would just keep making the fishing ships. MSN housed right now, so that's a small problem. But I think that he can figure it out relatively quickly. Yeah, Cat. I think that Cat knew about this because he didn't invest into more than one fishing ship. So he invested into double dock. He has something in his mind to do right now. And is it gonna be Sprinkle ship with Arrow ship out as quickly as possible, or are we gonna see something else? I'm not sure what he wants to do, but MSN utilizing the advancement wing perfectly. He basically put Cat's income from the water to 0.
And you can see, instead of over-investing on that lake, he's going for a safe dock on both sides. Just means that this is going to skyrocket for him. Now, what I like about this, it feels like MSN is telling his opponent, hey, I'm going to shut down your dock. You better invest on this. And he wants Cat to make ships, because that's just going to mean that he has ships that are not going to be useful anywhere else on the map. Well, MSN, he's now comfortably going back and just getting what he wants. And what he wants is a fishing boat. And another fishing boat. This man wants to eco up and then try and overwhelm. But with 13 on wood, he's got all the choices he could make. This is unlimited. And this is the Ayyubids. They are just so diverse here. Oof, but a villager does go down. The Mongol Khan just being a bit too strong.
One villager dying to the Khan, but I don't really think that MSN cares a lot when he's already spamming fishing ships from double dock and double ponds. Cat needs to heavily invest into the water just in case MSN will go for a sprinkle ship or for the demo over here. I think that what Cat needs to do over here is to make one sprinkle ship, one arrow ship, and one demo to be 100% certain that this lake is secure. But that's a very big investment. If he's not going to be going for it, he can try it, but it can be a little bit risky. But the MSN is not investing anything over here, so this is ideal scenario for him. And actually, it worked out relatively good for Mr. Cat.
Now you can see him pulling the fishing boat as well. He is just hoping to keep this thing alive for if there's a demo ship that comes out. But MSN, he's not taking the bait. He's like, I got what I wanted. I idled you out and I got the value. But now with the stable follow-up, this is already gonna tell Cat, hey, I need to think about what this looks like for me. With the stable, you can make one of two things, horses or desert raiders. And desert raiders are gonna require a very different response. Oh, but another villager. Now the villager is just taking a little bit of damage, but he will live to tell the tale. The next villager getting peppered up, and it looks like Cat is playing that game that we all know from the Mongols, peppering up every bit of villager he can, and then punishing you for it. But the desert raider is the first thing in queue, and with that, there's gonna need to be a response here, and archery range is the answer. Now, Molly, do you remember the days when we had Mangudai everywhere on this map? We haven't seen them in a while.
Of course. Of course, we haven't saw them in a while. They got a huge nerf, and they are right now just running slower, so it is a little bit harder to play with them. At the same time, MSN leading only by 2 fishing ships, so even though this play was good, he lost the villager for it, and it was relatively big investment for the dock and for the arrow ship. I still like it for MSN. I think that it was still worth it, but it wasn't as big of a deal as we may thought. MSN investing heavily into those desert raiders, and actually there's going to be something that's going to be working very, very well for him, because Cat is just going into the Keshiks, which I don't really understand. We saw the stables and the archer range from the MSN. Still, Keshiks are amazing for the raids over here, but they are not going to be very good in taking the fights. It's gonna be awkward to take fights against desert raiders. They don't have healing. That's good, but at the same time, it's still a camel.
A camel that does not mind fighting a little against your little armored horse. And MSN, he is in a good spot. That's the thing about AOBits. You can make units. Oh yes, actually, I want to age up. So MSN gets to change that composition on the fly, especially with going for 2 production buildings and then just producing the same unit from them. The beauty of AOBits. Now shutting down a little bit of the Uwu, but the Khan, he is still running around trying to make sure that he knows exactly what's going on. So if there is a unit switch up, he's going to know about it. The archers, though, they are going to try to do their best, but 3 is not the amount you need to shut down all of these desert raiders. But the Keshiks, though, they will provide the front line that those archers desperately need.
Exactly, but this front line is gonna be disappearing as soon as those camels are gonna be starting to fight. Yeah, sure, they may be a front line, but it's not gonna be a front line that will be standing for a very long time. Archers are out on the field, but we are not making double archers because all of the desert raiders are standing right next to the Ovu. This is getting more and more awkward for the Cat. MSN actually using the IOBits to their full potential. But my question is gonna be, what are we gonna do when Cat's arch numbers are gonna get into the low 10s? Like, there is gonna be nothing really that's gonna be effectively countering his composition. Sure, we can go for that horseman, but as you pointed out earlier, there are Keshiks coming down on the field, and they are going to be doing a very good job doing a front line against those horsemen. Not against desert raiders, but against horsemen, they are going to be disappearing if that fight is going to happen.
I love this. He's just getting more and more production buildings with the fishing boats that he just keeps getting to make, because of course he's got so much already. He is having a great time with all of these vills out here on wood. He is not looking at slowing down whatsoever. Cat, though, Cat is now making archers. And of course, with archers, you're just spending so much wood. With all the stone that was stacked up, he couldn't use that for quite a bit. And you have to ask yourself, where am I going to get my next Uwu? And there's no real safe place for him to do so. Well, MSN, he's stacking up a little bit of, I was about to say stacking up a little bit of gold, but he's like, oh, I could use that differently. I am not going to age up. I just want to make more desert raiders and horses.
I have the same thought, like MSN could age up if he really wanted to, but he can't. And the reason why he can't age up is because he's playing IOBits. His age up is just too slow. That's the reason. We are playing on the map in which one player has 13, another 18 fishing ships. Like, even though right now the armies are very similar, and even though right now it's looking great for MSN, he has all the map control, he can do literally what he wants. The moment he's gonna be starting to age up is gonna be the 1.5 minutes timer for Cat to just kill him. He cannot afford to age up right now. He needs to be spending those resources for the units. If Cat wants to age up, it's fine because he can rush it down with 20 villagers and it's gonna be color tie. So he's gonna be getting the value instantly. On the other hand, MSN, it's gonna be awkward for him to age up.
Now, MSN, it's like you read the same book you did, Molly. He's just spending every bit of resource he can. Now, at some point, you're gonna get to 5 vills in gold, and you're like, how am I gonna keep spending this? But he says he'll find a way. Gets +1 range defense as well, and I'm glad to see this. Both of them, like, they look like they're ready for a fight, but, ooh, this is a pretty bad engagement here for MSN, and he loses a ton of his firepower.
That's not good. 3 camels are gonna go down. But remember, he's doing the classical MSN thing, making horsemen and not showing them. Like right now, we have 18 horsemen out on the field, and Cat has no idea. Cat doesn't know at all. So if this fight is gonna be happening, you can bet that MSN is gonna be winning it most likely. 18 horsemen are gonna be diving all those archers. Cat now sees it and he's pooping his pants because he's running home as fast as he can. MSN turning it around and killing everything, circling around and killing every single archer out on the field. There is not enough cachings, and there are still a lot of desert raiders that are gonna be debuffing them and dealing a lot of damage. MSN cleaning this up, and this is looking well for the young gentleman.
And now cleaning up a whole army. Those Keshiks looks like they're made of paper. No camels to do the real frontline damage because, of course, he didn't need them. When you have enough horses, you counter everything. MSN now stopped making any units. He's like, I'm in the driver's seat. This is where I get to close it out. That poor little deer stones needing to run back. He felt very confident about that for a second. Getting a bit of arrow slits as well. He realizes the next push is going to be on him, and he might not be the one who can hold it. Another stable quickly being rushed up with 3 villages. He needs production, and he needs it now. The problem is, MSN, he looks feisty, he looks ready, and he wants to do some damage while going up from here.
Actually, yes, he is trying to age up, and all of these units are just over here to scare Cat, in my opinion. He doesn't... I'm not sure if he really wants to dive. In my opinion, he just wants to look as scary as possible, so Cat will not know that he's aging up. And what will be... Military wing reinforcement. Military wing?
Oh, trade...
Okay, we can see
trade.
advisors.
What?
We can see advisors. So we are gonna be going for the bonus HP. I'm not really sure why would we go for the military wing if we already have such giant economy. 3 desert raiders doesn't feel like a lot to be getting out of it. Advisors, on the other hand, are gonna be paying themselves back. Probably gonna be going for the mass camel lancers because that's something that counters the whole Cat's competition.
And camel lances with extra HP it hits a little bit different. Usually with your composition, even as the Mongols, you're able to handle those first 2 or 3. But now the problem is, you are going to be up against someone who has so many, with all the resources in the bank already stacked up. This is an MSN who looks angry, who looks fierce, and he's trying to force Cat to stay in feudal. You mentioned he wanted to look scary. Yes, and him looking scary means that you are going to keep making units. You're going to feel like you have to. But you're going to be stuck with a bunch of feudal archers against camel lances that are buffed AF, as we see him already having the resources for Imperial by the time he ages up. And honestly, I did not expect him to float that much already. But the camel lances, he knows he's got one goal and one goal only. He needs to make sure those camel lances come out extra chunky.
This is the reason why Iobids are so good on land maps, but on hybrid they just feel awkward. You want to make the castle units, but at the same time you can make them only after you age up, and aging up is just too slow. Cat realizing that MSN is going for the age up, as he can see that no more units are entering the field, gonna be trying to dive the TC, but there's nothing to kill right there, and MSN right now looking very, very strong over here. Cat will be trying to dive this and will be trying to kill MSN right now, but there are going to be camel lancers, exactly 5 camel lancers in a queue. He will be trying to rush them up as quickly as possible, and when these 5 camel lancers come out on the field, this is going to be a bloodbath. They are going to kill everything.
And, you know, it feels... Oh, 10. This man, he's queuing up as many as he possibly can. Look at all those Otterbegs garrison inside. They know what's good. Quickly building a few houses here so he doesn't get pop-capped even when the burning starts. But the first Camel Lancer is about to pop out. And these bad boys are about to give Cat definitely not the time of his life. Kurultai is the age up now. But with you aging up as well, you don't want to be this deep in your opponent's base. You know this is the moment that you are going to be the weakest.
Exactly, not looking well for him. Actually, not taking that bad of an engagement in the choke point with the archers, but still feels very, very awkward. He needs to run home and hope to not hope that his army is not gonna die. But I don't think that he can save those archers. The engage will need to be coming in, and there is just enough Camel Lancers out on the field. 10 Camel Lancers. How is Cat gonna kill this? Even if all of his armies would have upgrades from the castle age, it just wouldn't be enough. MSN destroying everything. If the cat's just gonna stop for a second, everything will die over here. Those deer stones are gonna be helping tremendously for the escape. But is it gonna be enough, or is all the army from the cat gonna die?
And Cat is just desperately trying to pull back, stay kind of alive as we see those upgrades coming in. But those upgrades are not going to provide the protection he's going to need against 25 Camel Lancers, guys. I have not seen that many Camel Lancers this quickly after hitting Castle Age in my life. This man, he was stacked and ready to go. The villagers now, under this TC, they are quickly trying to stay alive as best they can, but we can see even the poor TC is idle with no food for the poor man, and this is just a bloodbath. Every single angle is covered, and those units that were desperate for their age up upgrades, they are just nowhere to be found. Dead villagers all around. But Cat, he doesn't want to tap out. This is his last chance until next week.
And MSN is going to be winning the series 3-0 against Cat.
Now, MSN, I am so happy to see this. MSN is just, he's our little hero. It's really wild for me because Libby, Mali, what do I call you if I call you with one thing? Because Mali in Serbian means tiny.
It means the same thing in Slovakia. So people call me Mali, people call me Libby. You can call me whatever you want.
Are
it's
you
fine.
Mali? Like, are you tiny?
When I was in school, yes, I am tiny, and even now people make fun of me that I am a smaller stature. So that's why Mali Libby.
I'm sorry. My condolences.
It is what it is. Unfortunately, I nothing I can do about it. Like I know it's not good, but
oh no, that's okay. You might be taller. Wait. Are you taller than Marine Lord?
I don't know how tall Marine Lord is.
Neither do I. Sometimes I'm always questioning myself what the situation is. Show the bicep, Mali. MSN, he wants to see the bicep. You give it to him.
He wants to see the bicep, but I'm in a suit, MSN. I can't. It's you know I would need to strip for you, but we are not going to be doing that over here, okay? Like you know that I love you, but not that much, not that much.
Denied. But guys, we might have a game already ready. I just need to go and get that set up. So guys, we're gonna be right back, and then we'll see you back here in like 3 to 5 minutes. So don't go too far, and get yourselves ready for game number or set number 2. right, ladies and gents, we are back with Molly Libby here leading the charge. Mr. Molly Libby, these are... Actually, I wanted to comment on your outfit first. You look way more professional than I do. What's up with that? Are you just a distinguished gentleman?
Of course, and you know I'm young. I need to set some credibility. If I would come over here in the jumpers, it wouldn't be it wouldn't be the best. So sweet it is, sweet it is.
Nice. Oh my goodness. Yeah, guys, he's pretty dapper. Oh, guys, my neighbor just decided to start drilling at 8 p.m. in the evening. What a distinguished gentleman himself. I have a neighbor here who decides to drill during the hours that is not work hours, because obviously that's the only time he has. And I'm this close to paying some kid to go and ring his doorbell for like 6 hours a day. I'm this close, and every single time on the Discord or on our Viber group, I'm like, "Hey guys, are we really drilling at this time of night?" And then I'm just gonna pay the little kid to ring that doorbell. How much, boy? Boy, just come here and go and ring the bell. That's all I need from you, sir. For Homestead Cup, we're gonna get everyone to do. Yeah, but anyway, guys, that is my rant for the day. Ladies and gents, we're ready to roll. So, Mr. Marley, are you ready? Introduce our players. Let's hop on in.
We have Voldy on one side playing as Japanese, and on the other we have Marine Lord, the one and only legend, playing as the Ubits. This matchup is very specific because both of these civs love to go for fast castle. So I think that's what we will see. At the same time, Voldy is not going to be playing for the any of the Dark Age, possibly because yes, it can work, but at the same time, as soon as IOBits are going to age up with Double Dervish, it does nothing, and he can go back on the goal. For that reason, Voldy will just go for the straight age up. He is going on a berries early though, so he is probably expecting Marine Lord to go for those fast Desert Raiders and start raiding. Marine Lord, on the other hand, pretty standard, nothing special at the moment. Just a small wall on the gold, actually. Marine Lord was expecting Voldemort to go for the Spearman push, and that's not happening. So this is just a waste of resources. But better be safe than sorry, right? Voldemort actually going to be capitalizing on this small advantage, because this is a little bit of the idle time. At the same time, making a tower is going to be costing a little bit more if you will decide to go for it. Remember, he doesn't have a lot of the resources to work with because of that wall. Culture Wing going to be coming in with Double Dervish. On the other side, Kura Storehouse aging up with 3. So pretty slow age up. We are not going for any units early on. If we would, it would be age up with the 4. This signals us that Voldy is going for the fast castle, most likely.
This is interesting. Why does the 3 still signal that? Because we've been seeing fast castle be very linear in terms of just aging up with 1 and focusing all your units on gathering resources. So tell me about this build a little bit.
You want to go 3 for a very simple reason, and that's dervishes are gonna come. Right now, like you know that there's going to be most likely dervishes plus desert raiders. If you will not go for faster age up, you cannot answer fast enough with the Yumi. If you can't answer fast enough with the Yumi, you need to answer fast enough with the tower. That's not something that we are seeing over here. Voldemort is not putting down a tower yet, so or horseman. That can also be the case. Mainly, you are going free because you want to be defending with the units. Defending with the units is still better than defending with the buildings, because you can raid with them if you defend. Like you defend your base, and after that you are just gonna come to your opponent and try to do some damage. Try to raid, try to look at his gold, look at his berry patch, look at the wood, try to do something. On tower, on the other hand, is just gonna be sitting there and looking at the villagers mining gold.
And we see Voldy sending some villagers out. He's looking to tower rush. Oh my goodness, all the way here in Castle Age. But now you gotta ask yourself, Voldy, why did he go in blind? Voldy, he's one of the people who just makes amazing guides. He's always telling us, make scout before you make these decisions. But against Marine Lord, the god of AoE, he might be slipping up already by just assuming that there will be aggression. And this is such an easy mistake to make. Going for that industry wing, though, we've been seeing this time and time again. Everyone's saying this is the way to go. And that industry wing is going to give him a lot of options. Now, usually people go for a market, they sell it, they get the gold they need. Or they go for an extra TC. Marine Lord, he doesn't strike me as the extra TC kind of guy.
Marine Lord, in my opinion, will play a bit aggressive. Like, industry wing over here makes sense. But at the same time, it's still... You are missing on 320 resources a minute by not going a normal ecoing with the villagers, right? So yes, it's way better if you are trying to go for the fastest age up possible, but eventually it doesn't pay off if you don't go for second TC or anything in that sense. Right now, Voldy will be getting the tower up, and that's gonna be a significant amount of pressure from him, because right now Marine Lord cannot mine any gold. He doesn't have any gold in the bag. Every single one of his golds is in front, and it's looking good right now. Marine Lord will need to probably sell the stone so he can start making the desert raiders. Otherwise, it's gonna be rough for him.
I mean, you say rough, but I say Voldy is sticking to feudal, and when you're up against the Castle Age Aeobids, they do need to gather a little bit of resources to make this work, right? But you're still going to be up against someone who is very comfortable playing on the back foot. And now, going for zone stable, this is going to mean he gets to make... he gets to make camel lancers, he gets to make horses. He has a lot of choices in all of this, but the main problem is... he's going to be able to make a unit that can handle what you have on offer. Ooh, he just cancelled the Desert Raider, though. He's not going to be wasting his time. He's going straight for the Camel Lancers.
Exactly, straight for the Camel Lancers, and we are going to be selling all of the stone over here for that gold, because we have problems with the gold right now. I think that Voldy overinvested. In my opinion, that's 10 out of 10 tower. Denying double gold and the stone at the same time, it's very awkward for Marine Lord to go on the other gold. But we are over-investing into the units. We should have gotten for our own castle age. Right now it's going to be Camel Lancers against Horsemen. There are some spears on the field, but I don't think that's going to be.
Yeah, spears, definitely an answer that they are going to be desperate for here. Because when you're getting into this spot now, you want to be able to handle the Camel Lancer numbers, but the problem is they're so good at just going a different direction, and spears, that mobility issue is going to come in time and time again. Marley, you're going to need to carry this for a second. I have to quickly handle something.
Of course. Villagers are gonna be trying to go for that gold vein, but right now Voldemort has enough over here to defend. Only double Camel Lancer right now. 4 are out on the field. Soon enough they will be coming. And when all of them are gonna be over here, Marine Lord will be able to go on the gold. Voldemort still investing into the feudal age. I don't really like it, but if that's what he feels like he needs to do, that's what he will do. He's gathering resources for the castle age in the meantime, having all the eco upgrades that that are needed. Not having mining pick, but that's not as big of a deal. Only 5 villagers are on gold at the time. 20 villagers are on the foot, so that's gonna be suggesting us that he's trying to go for the castle. No, we are queuing more units yet again, and my question is why? What are these units gonna do? Like, sure, we are gonna be securing a little bit of the map, but right now Marine Lord will be having a lot of Camel Lancers, and he's going into the archers at the same time. In my opinion, what Marine Lord should, or what Marine Lord is gonna do most likely, is gonna make the ram with the archers and push the tower, or he can come over here with the villagers, but that's a bit risky if Voldy would have all of his army over here, and he's running over here.
Now, Voldy, he's feeling at this. I was gonna say he feels confident about this push, but at the same time, Marine Lord's army is getting scarier and scarier with time. You see the archer numbers; they're just gonna be able to handle most of what is in this composition, even though there are horses. This is what the Camelons is. They have one job, and that is to deal with the chunky boys. The archers, they just need to snipe a few spears and make sure it works.
Yeah. This fight, even though Voldemort has way more units over here, if Marine Lord just kites a bit, kills 2 or 3 spearmen, he can start to take it with camel lancers. And remember, they are literally knights with just a bigger damage on the charge. But that's enough spearmen over here. 2 of them are gonna be surviving at the moment. They are gonna be surviving. Marine Lord microed it perfectly. We still have those double dervish out on the field, so we should be able to heal all of this up. I don't really like that we are gonna be fighting with the with the camels that have nearly no HP, but it is what it is. Those monks are probably taking the relics, and he's making another one. Still not having an upgrade on those archers hurts a bit though.
Now, usually when we get into a castle versus feudal fight, you want to have that upgrade. The whole point is having the upgrade advantage, but the dervish standing at the front taking a lot of damage and quickly. The archer numbers are still looking pretty scary. Camels are the ones that are focusing on the horses, and the spears are completely distracted by a dervish, but it does look like a decent trade here for Valde. He's committed to this, but the problem is the spear numbers.
It looks like a decent trade for the Valde. It looks like it, but there is no spearman at all. Right now there is no spearman at all. Then there are still some camels left over. What will kill the camels? Is there a unit to kill the camels? Not really. Voldy needs to run back, and that's exactly what he will do.
And getting into a spot where your spears are thinning out at this rate, when there's still so many Camelances on the field, guys, that is a slippery, slippery slope. But you see him shift-clicking on those archers. Voldemort is playing this so methodically. He's like, I may not have scouted it early on, but trust me, I've got the strategies. The problem is just, the archers from Marine Lord, they are now upgraded. And slowly but surely, they're going to become a massive issue against this composition from Valde. And Valde is still making production buildings here at the front, feeling a little bit too confident about this feudal push that he's still committing to. And honestly, I am quite surprised. I am really surprised to see how heavily he's invested into this, but he knows he needs to just get a little bit of damage. The problem is just no villagers have fallen just yet.
Exactly, like Voldy went for kind of feudal age all-in, but haven't done anything with it right now. Sure, we idled a lot of villagers, but I don't think that Marine Lord really cares. He just needs to survive. There was a lot of damage done in terms of idle time, but it's not enough. Archers are gonna be killing everything over here. Remember, this is Castle Age archers. They will be able to kill horsemen. They will be able to one-shot them if you are gonna get to like 25 to 30 numbers. Even though we just got the +1 in, this army is getting way more scary from the Marine Lord. And Voldemort, even with the double the military numbers, it's not looking good on the field.
Now, with all of this from Voldemort, you can see one thing, and that's relic numbers. Even though Voldemort was at the front here doing good work at the pressure, the thing is that tunnel vision has settled in. He's shutting down the gold. He killed a bit of the units here from Marine Lord, but the problem is the relics are coming on in. And now you're getting into a spot where Marine Lord doesn't really care about the gold. He just gets to live off the passive ones, especially with his composition that is a majority of archers. But of course, the food is going to start running low. The problem is, Valde is not on the side of the food to shut this down. He's so focused on getting this gold, it might just cost him everything.
Exactly. The main point of this fight is gonna be to kill all the horsemen, and after that, archers will have a field day, and there are gonna be no horsemen standing. Archers kill everything over here from the Marine Lord. He played this fight perfectly. He microed it very well, and right now every single camel entry is gonna be diving those Yumi. All of them are slowly but surely gonna be diving. And gentlemen, if you have the same military numbers as your opponent, but your opponent has a tech advantage, it's definitely not looking good for you. Right now, Marine Lord is gonna be starting to push in with all of those archers, and they are gonna be killing every single one of the units that is out on the field for the Voldemort. Sure, Voldy is queuing a lot. Sure, he still has a very good economy, but the A job is gonna be the key. The relics are gonna be the key. Marine Lord has all the resources, everything that he needs to finish the game right now. He has a significant lead, even though no villagers were killed.
Now, quickly, there are some kebabs made with all these spearmen just impaling every camel they can. But now Marine Lord has free access to a majority of Voldemar's production here. And this is a lot of resources, considering he has invested so much into building here. It's gonna go down. But after that, what does Voldemort transition into? Then he gets the castle, and he's gonna ask himself, what then? Now, with the horses here, let's go see, did he manage to pick up any relics? No, oh, pick up any vills? No. Apparently, the man is just too fast, and Marine Lord is not planning on losing anything. That singular ram gonna be hammering away at what it can. But Voldy is trying to minimize that idle time from the units that he's invested sending this far forward. The problem is, it's gonna get scarier with time.
Funny thing is that you asked what will he go in a castle age, and you may think that mounted samurai are getting heavily countered by the camels, but with the bannermen they kill them. One on one with the bannermen they kill them. Why? Because the damage of the camel lancers is in a charge, and remember, mounted samurai have the deflective armor, so charge is gonna be doing nothing. For that reason, mounted samurai are going to be winning the fights against camel lancers if we will have the bannerman in the composition at the same time. But I'm not sure that we will get there because Marine Lord with the 40 archers is going to be heavily pressuring this position, and Voldemort will be having the trouble on gold. I'm not sure if we are going to be even able to click up.
Now, with this heavy army here from Marine Lord, that pressure that you put on your opponent, and this is what we saw the previous games from other players, again and again, we have that early or very heavy pressure, and then you're forced to keep making units, and Voldemort is stuck in exactly that spot now. These Yumis, they are trying to perform miracles, but you can see these veteran archers don't give a damn. They're just pushing straight on forward.
Exactly, like this is not looking good for the Voldemort. Everything is gonna be dying over here, and I think this is gonna be GG. Marine Lord will be leading in a series 1-0.
Now, guys, I am technically on duty here with my day job. The drilling guy is back. Yes, the drilling guy, he's back. And there was a crash in World of Tanks, and I quickly need to go sort out a bracket that I need to remake quickly. So we will be right back. I need 3 minutes to just get everything sorted, make sure that the world doesn't explode, because World of Tankers, they're very passionate about what they do. God, this driller.
As your neighbor with the drill.
I love this guy. I love this guy. Let me just quickly go figure out World of Tanks, guys. I'll be right back. Oh my god, I can't believe this is... All right, ladies and gents, Molly is going to be carrying me real hard while I quickly go reset a bracket. So let me go and see how that works. But on the same side, we're getting Frisian Marshes and Order of the Dragon versus French at it. And both of these civilizations, we've seen French on this, but Order of the Dragon, not that much. What can we expect to see from Frisian Marshes in general from an Order of the Dragon player?
OOTD, one of the best civilizations when it comes to crossbows. Those gilded crossbowmen are gonna be, in my opinion, the significant play for him inside in the castle age. The only problem that OOTD has is food.
Mm-hmm.
They run out of it nearly instantly in every single game. That's the reason why I think it's going to be relatively good on Frisian Marshes thanks to the docks. On the other side, can be awkward if Voldemort is going to be starting to raid with the knights, and Marine Lord will not have enough spearmen out on the field to defend everything. Remember, it's very hard for OOTD player to defend the raids or to defend literally any single front if there are multiple of them, because your units are double the population. It's gonna be hard to split them apart, right? For that reason, Marine Lord may be going for a fast castle age, in my opinion. Maybe he will go for a feudal age. Anything is possible on the Frisian marshes. There is going to be a significant amount of food gained from the dogs, so we will need to protect it. For that reason, I think there is going to be some feudal play, but eventually he would want to go for the faster castle age. On the other
Now,
hand, Voldemort.
no, I have a question about this. With that early, usually we see players. Oh my goodness, going for the wood here, pretty standard. We do see very often. Valdi. He's just prepared, and that's what I was about to say. A lot of players prepare for that barracks follow up, usually after, and that's exactly what Voldemort is doing again without the information. He's just assuming, and this is going to cost him so much of a delay and possibly the ability to get a dock. And that's exactly what
He
happens.
canceled it.
He
Yeah,
realizes.
he canceled it as soon as he scouted the dock. He was like, okay, this guy is not going Dark Age, so let me go for the docks as well. But right now, Marine Lord has a head start in this, and that was a lot of idle time wasted from the Voldemort. Uh, Look, he kind of needed to go for this, but at the same time, it's very, very awkward. If there would be spearmen running to that gold before he would get enough for the age up, game could have been decided right there. Just all of these spearmen are just too good in a dark age. They don't die. They have too much of the HP. Voldy is going for the dog right now. Marine Lord already sitting on the double fishing ships, and I don't really like seeing the eco numbers so close, basically the same, when Marine Lord's villagers are 33% better. So this is not looking good for the Voldy, and at the same time, Voldy is making villagers faster. Doesn't look very, very well for him and on the start. In terms of sheep count, Marine Lord is scouting a lot of sheep over here. He will have a field day at the chapel if he decides to go for it. I'm not sure if he really wants to go for the chapel. In my opinion, main work is the play. But I can see the argument being made for the bonus wood. And the spearmen are going to be going out on a field. They are already in the queue for Marine Lord. So Marine Lord will be trying to take Voldemort off from the goal. Voldemort's already aging up with the School of Cavalry. 5 villagers are going to be signifying relatively fast age up. Putting it down to 4, he realizes, I don't really want to age up that fast. I'm not sure if I will have enough resources for that fast night. It doesn't look like he will have a gold for that fast night, because the first spearman already probably running to the Marine Lord's base slowly but surely. So I'm not really sure if Voldy will be even able to afford it. On the other hand, Marine Lord not really so close to the age up, but remember, guys, he still has, even though it's small, he still has a lead in fishing ships. He doesn't need to invest in it anymore. 14 villagers are on foot. This is, and no on gold. This is not looking like he wants to go for an age up. This looks like he wants to go for mass spearman.
And
So that's going to be very interesting.
that's crazy. To see something like this would be fantastic to experience. Definitely not something that I think most people signed up for. But Valdi, he is going to need to respond with archers quickly. So he will eventually have an answer. But we'll have to see at what cost. And you can see he's rushing this up. He needs to get an archery range. And that's exactly his plan.
Exactly. 8 villagers rushing down School of Cavalry, probably rushing down archer range as we speak. Sure, that's something that's very, very well needed. I'm not sure if we should be in time over here to defend this dock, but maybe Marine Lord will be able to set it on fire. Already two archers are in the queue. 6 spearmen will be out on the field.
Guys,
those are very big numbers.
That is insane. Trying to deal with this amount of OOTD spears, it's going to take more than one archer to do so, because they will even just be able to chase down those archers if they feel like it.
Exactly. First Knight will be coming out on the field slowly but surely, but what will the First Knight do against the 6 OOTD spears? This is not 6 normal spears. This is 12 normal spears practically. I'm not really sure what he really wants to achieve. Probably raid on a gold or try to be just annoying. On the other hand, archers will be slowly but surely pushing off the spearmen on that dock. But there are still some spears burning it down slowly but surely. So I am not sure if we can hold this up. Marine Lord sacrificing some spearmen and trying to catch those archers off guard. And this dock will be coming down, gentlemen, and that's 3 fishing ships that are gonna be idling from this point on. That's a giant military advantage for the Marine Lord. Chapel being played at the same time is gonna be signifying us that he probably wants to go for something like faster castage. Not a single villager died over here. Good job from Marine Lord. He saw it very, very fast.
He saw it, but the thing is, Valdi, it felt like he was just not ready to charge in. Attention focused on all the spears. The villagers are fighting back. That is so Marine Lord of him. And because it's an Order of the Dragon villager, this man is not going to, or this woman, is not going to go down with just one charge. You are going to need to work for it. And just like that now, Valdi, he's got an answer to a lot, but he doesn't have an answer here to everything. Oof, that knight getting dangerously low at the same time.
Exactly. This is why OOTD villagers are so good when it comes to French OOTD matchup. Like, sure, you can raid. If you kill villager, it hurts a lot for the OOTD, but you don't double shot it. And for that reason, it's very hard to raid. You need to put a charge in and then double attack. On the other hand, for the normal villager, is only the charge and one attack. We can see double broad eggs being made by the Marine Lord, so he is gonna be probably looking into the multiple docks, and we can see already 3 out on the field. We are gonna be getting that food income from all of the fish. On the other hand, Valdi is investing heavily into the knights. Already 3 out of the field. 2 are in the queue. 5 archers at the same time against all of those spears. Marine Lord is not making anything else, and I am not really sure what he wants to do. Because, yeah, sure, spears are good, but spears are not good against 5 archers, and we can see the first horsemen are going to be entering the field. So it's going to be the classical spearman horseman composition. Very good composition in low numbers. It's going to be a very hard composition in high numbers when the spears are going to be starting to one-shot those spears. Archers are going to be starting to one-shot those spears. And at the moment, Marine Lord is just chilling under the chapel, already having 6 fishing ships against 4. He's completely fine.
Now, this is a pretty tough position here for anyone who wants to break through Marine Lord, because with his units, he can respond to most of what you would put under this TC, including these knights that will melt to the hands of spears, or even to the hands of the horsemen. Valdi does have a decent enough food economy set up for himself, but you can see how quick Marine Lord is about this, instantly pulling back the vills, popping them in. That knight taking a ton of damage from that one spear hit that was burrowed in between all these vills. Marine Lord knows how to play this, and he knows how to catch players out, and he's showing us exactly that. But Valdi, he's still committing to that feudal fighting, and I love this. I love this aggression coming from Valdi.
It looks like we are going to be seeing Castle Age very soon from the Marine Lord. 26 villagers on foot. 26. What are we going to do with all that food income? We have no gold income on the other hand, though. We are making a lot of horsemen because we are expecting Voldy's archers to be out on the field killing a villager here and there. Very good for Marine Lord. And having eco numbers so close against French feels so good. Like this is the dream scenario, and we are gonna be diving into TC. Only one horseman over here to try to catch off guard some of those knights, but not looking good. One horseman will be going down, and no knights are going to be going down. A lot of the idle time from the Marine Lord, not looking good for the gentleman. Even though he didn't took any damage in terms of villager kills, maybe one, but idle time alone was very worth this time. On the other side, we still have all of the spears at home. I'm not sure if even a single one died, so that's very good for him. 5 horsemen out on the field, they are very good. Remember, these horsemen are doing a lot of damage. They can take a fight against knights. These are not normal horsemen. These are OOTD horsemen. They have more damage and more HP than the normal ones. We are sitting on 11 fishing ships for the Marine Lord. 11 against 4. Economy numbers are basically the same, and they are same against French that has faster villager production. And the OOTD's villagers are just better at the same time. So Marine Lord sitting on way more economy over here, at the same time spamming very good units, spamming those chunky horsemen that are going to be able to dive or kill dogs if they really want to. And I think that we are going to be seeing some dives on the wood line in the next 3 minutes.
Now, with all of this, we are getting into that nice little spot for OOTD where you are going to need so much more to handle than what they have on offer. And with that archer mishmash in, you have machine guns shooting non-stop. Look at these horses. They're going to love taking these night fights because they just run faster. And now those archers barely even tickling them. Now, once Marine Lord tries to go for a little bit of gold here, he gets to decide if that is going to be, hey, a castle, or if we are just going to get our +1 upgrades and survive and push.
He has all the map control that he needs right now. He has the mobility advantage with the horsemen. Sure, knights are fast, but they are not as fast as the horsemen, and we have more horsemen on the field. The horsemen are able to take the 8 horsemen will be definitely able to take the fight against the knights. On the other hand, 10 spears are going to be just guarding us home, and I think that Marine Lord will be trying to raid with them. I don't think that staying home is the best idea. Sure, it's the safest. Definitely, you don't know if Voldy is going for the feudal age all-in, or if he's trying to kill, or if he's trying to go for the dogs or for the fast castle. We didn't really scouted it for the Marine Lord, but at the same time, we need to raid, and that's exactly what he's gonna be doing. We have 11 spears at home and 3 archers soon, so that this is not the best idea for the Marine Lord to just stay home with the horsemen. We have the ability to defend ourselves, and we are gonna be dying in the berry patch over here. How many villagers are gonna be dying? Please tell me it's gonna be at least 1 or 2. And oh, this is amazing job from Marine Lord. 2 villagers are going to be dying, 3 villagers are dying, 4 kills for Marine Lord are out of the field. Probably 5 kills already. Taking the advantage.
Molly, you captivated the feeling of that raid perfectly. These horsemen just absolutely obliterating that French lead because they get villagers just a bit faster. It feels so good because you know you're always ahead, but Order of the Dragon with an equal villager count, that looks mostly wrong. It feels extremely wrong to see, but Marine Lord, he's done it, and he's now with equal villagers. He is definitely very much ahead. And of course, this is because of those fishing boats, and they are limited edition villagers. But from here on out, +1 ranged attack, and Castle Age is the clean follow-up, but he's already prepping for the later stages of the game with adding a farm in here and there.
And remember, even though OOTD doesn't have any bonuses for the farms, they technically have cheaper farm transition. Why? Because their villagers are 33% better, but their farm costs the same. So you need 33% less farms. So their farm transition is effectively 33% cheaper. For this reason, it's going to be very easy for Marine Lord to switch, and doing it under the chapel is going to feel amazing. Burgrave being built with 11 villagers is suggesting the fast age up. I think that he is a tiny bit scared that Voldy can be just trying to take advantage of Marine Lord trying to raid with the horseman again and dive him in the meantime. But Voldy doesn't have enough units to do so. 23 archers are out on the field, but that's not gonna be enough at the moment. And when those madams are going to be coming in and we are diving the gold, no, we are not diving the gold. Voldy saw all those 12 spearmen looking at the 11 knights and said, nope, I don't want to do that. But right now we are running under the TC. We realize that, oh shit, a lot of the archers came over here. We cannot defend this. We need to go back home. And Voldy is diving the TC at the moment. What is going to be happening? Is this the winning or is this the losing for him? It's either one of those. He's either going to win the game or lose the game. There's no in between. This is the all-in, gentlemen. Voldy on the brink of the of either killing or losing the game. Marine Lord winning the fight, in my opinion, under the TC. A lot of the spears. Yeah, sure, there is still a lot of the knights. Yeah, sure, Voldy came with the spears. But remember, there is 10 spears still out on the field for Marine Lord. Right now down to 8, but 8 spears is enough to kill 11 knights from the Voldy. Sure, it's French knights, but this is OOTD spear. It's gonna be destroying everything.
And those archer numbers from Voldy, they cannot get up quick enough. And Marine Lord, he's using that burger to make the most delicious little spears who are so cheap. And even though they are feudal age for now, they are gonna be hitting like trucks. Those knights melting at the hands of the spears, and the archers just doing their best at trying to focus fire anything that might be able to kill them. Now, they are still feudal. The moment that hits from Marine Lord, he's gonna be able to push on forward, and I don't think there's a truck that can stop him from taking this one.
Exactly, he needed to be a little bit careful over here, because I was thinking that if he would overcommit, Voldy would be able to clear everything. There was only 6 OTD spears out on the field, but they were heavily damaged. So upgrades are going to be coming in double monks at the same time. We are going to be probably taking all the relics from the map. Gilded, we are playing for mass gilded archers. I don't really mind it. They are really good, especially against feudal age units. And with the spears, just amazing. But 21 villagers on gold. What are we doing, Marine Lord? Are we going to be playing all night? That's a lot of villagers for gold. What upgrades are we going to go for? Voldy is a little bit scared, so we are making tower in front just to see into that stealth forest. Guild Hall is being made with the 14 villagers. You may ask, why not Royal Institute? Royal Institute for what? We cannot go it for 12 nights. And fight is gonna be happening. Those archers are destroying everything over here. Doesn't matter if it's knight, archer, literally anything. They have too much damage, and +2 is gonna be just now coming in. It's gonna be even worse than this. Voldy cannot even take a fight right now. How he will be able to take a fight in the next 30 seconds when they will get the +2, and in the next minute when they will get +3 armor? Like, what are we gonna do over here? This is the death push. What will the Voldy do? Doesn't look very well. Sure, we have the double tower, but it's not gonna be enough if the Marine Lord decides to die with the +3 armor. I don't think that he has anything to kill those archers right now.
And these archers are not looking at being clapped by anything. That's the beauty of these. They are just so strong. So for a lot of people, this just means that you are going to get completely overwhelmed, even if you try to make the counter units, even if you try to make archers of your own to snipe them, but it just does not look like it is going to be the case.
Yeah, exactly. Like we can see a lot of the archers out on the field for the Voldy, but it's not going to be enough. If the archer numbers are the same, but your archers are gilded, there is no point in even asking who will win the fight. And your archers have +3 armor. Like I said, I don't see the universe. Sure, maybe we have a lot of knights, but there is a lot of spears at the same time. Every single archer from Voldy is going to be dying over here, and I don't think that they have enough time to kill all of those spears. Yeah, it's only 10 spears over here, but remember, gentlemen, it's OOTD spears yet again. This is not looking good. Not looking good at all, and the double knight is gonna be in the queue for the Marine Lord. If those knights come over here, it will look really, really rough. Marine Lord is trying to take the relics behind all of this. Voldy is trying to deny him, but 20 archers are going to be securing everything on this side of the map. 4 knights are what we have with the Voldy. Basically the same number that Marine Lords have if we convert Gilded Knights into the normal ones. But he's playing French. What are we doing over here? GG is gonna be called. And ladies and gentlemen, Marine Lord is taking the lead in the game, the lead in the series 2-0.
And guys, I have to again apologize for my awful observing. I'm busy fixing a game that's happening and everything is on fire. So that's basically what's happening with all of my observation. I'm very, very sorry. You guys will have to deal with this as we go into yet another game. But Marine Lord, he is now 2-0 up. So of course, this is not something that we are going to be too worried about for Marine Lord. He's the Wallala reigning champion from before. He's the man who qualified first. Again and again, he's showing us that he means business. And Voldemort, he has a big mountain to climb. So, yeah. We'll have to see how this one goes, though, because this round, we have JD against Byzantines, which honestly, I am a little bit scared here for JD, because Byzantines, they don't really suffer too much against a Civ that doesn't like the Dark Age rush. So let's go see if Voldy can make miracles work and shut down Mr. Marine Lord.
Exactly. Like Voldy is going against the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only. Marine Lord is one of the strongest players out there, and it's not looking good for Voldy even in the matchup. Byzantines against the JD. Remember, JD wants to put that pressure early on, but Byzantines have really nice ways to stop it. We can see the start with the typical start for the Byzantines, with 3 villagers out on stone for the fast 5 cistern play. On the other hand, Voldy is going to be playing for the JD on gold and everything else on food. In terms of the map and the map spawns, if we are going to look at it, Marine Lord will have one advantage and disadvantage at the same time. Both of his second and third berry patch are on the same side. So if Voldy will be able to take the map control, it's going to be really rough to get the olive oil. On the other hand, if he will not, it's going to be significantly easier. Voldy's map spawn is, I would say, a tiny bit better. He has Deer Peg relatively close and Boar relatively close as well. On the other hand, gold in the back and stones forward. You don't really care about stones when you are playing JD.
Yeah, no, usually Byzantines does pretty well at just holding on for dear life until they get to a pretty strong start for themselves. So this does feel like Byzantines, if given a little bit of breathing room, they skyrocket. But the problem is just, does Voldy give him that bit of breathing room? Now, this is a standard all age up. We're not seeing any fast action, but usually our big question is, how does it look for the sheep? So let's, we are a few minutes behind, so we get to go and speed up a little bit as well. But let's go take a look at those scouts and see, ooh, that is going to be a very, very happy Vold.
Yeah, Voldemort sitting on 17 sheep against 12 for Marine Lord. Very, very nice for him. And he has the civilization that depends on the sheep. He's playing as a JD, so he loves the series. On the other hand, aging up with the School of Cavalry, age up with the 2 for the JD is pretty nice. Why? Because is very similar to age up with 3 or 4 villagers. Just because you are aging up with the JD, that's buffing the villagers around it, and JD works a tiny bit faster. Grand Winery on the other side is going to be the age up that Marine Lord chooses. Grand Winery is going to be amazing. At the same time, we have it at a relatively good spot. So I love to see that in the back of the base, slowly but surely securing the future farm setup that's going to be coming down over there. And still, I am not sure what Voldy wants to do. Because sure, we can go for feudal age all-in, but it's really hard to feudal age all-in civilization that has limited name. Like, We will have a lot of archers, sure, but they are not going to be doing as much damage as they should. On the other hand, Marine Lord can play for mass jabs from the olive oil and later go for the camels. That's probably the composition that he will go for, or he can go for the longbows that are better early on, but he's giving up camels later. Marine Lord sitting on 3 Limitane already, so he expects Voldy to go for that, go for those knights, making a tower on the deer, not on the deer, on the berries in his base is gonna signify that he is probably going for that boom on 5 cisterns, as we can see for already placed down. Voldy is heavily investing, but I am not sure if that's gonna pay off.
Now, with Marine Lord getting these Limitane, you're dealing with a very strong response to knights, but those archer numbers from Voldy, he's going to be able to do something about this.
Exactly, like sure, Voldy will be able to use his archers. JD is very good at early fights because she's just such a chunky unit with the healing, with the AOE damage. He is perfect. There isn't anything right now that has bonus damage against her. She's just a normal mad arm. For that reason, I like Voldy right now when it comes to fighting, but please just give it next 2 minutes when the first jabs are gonna come out on the field, and I'm not sure if it's gonna look that good anymore. At the same time, 4 systems already down. It's like, if we are gonna look at the economy numbers, Marine Lord already in a significant lead.
And Marine Lord is able to just sit back and let the Byzantines do the talking. This is massive, though. The fact that he shut down that mercenary house, it should tell Marine Lord, hey, you don't just get to be a greedy goose. But what I love about this is him going for those extra farms. With those farms, you are giving yourself that little bit of a boost to the berries that you are desperately going to need. The tower, amazing investment as well, because you needed to find a way to deal with the archers when you don't have the natural response of those javelins or the longbows, depending on what he goes for. And Marine Lord hasn't decided. Well, he probably decided, he just hasn't clicked it yet. Keeping us on the edge.
Yeah, exactly. Either one of those is gonna be good. Longbows are gonna be a little bit better early on. But Silk Road, are we going for a Keshigo over here?
No. Those are javelin throwers. You were right from the
get-go.
get-go.
Those are jabs. Okay. My bad. So we will see those javelins. Jabs are gonna be amazing because they have a high base damage. For that reason, they will be able to take down the JD in big enough numbers. Only 4 of them coming out of the field at a time, but I think that should be enough. We are going to be taking down one Aqueduct over here, and Marine Lord is going to be on 3 cisterns right now. I don't think that he really cares that much. Like, sure, it is a bit of a damage. On the other hand, he just wants to survive. He is playing Byzantine. Longer the game goes, better it is for him, especially in the feudal age. Sure, Voldy can age up with the JD and make her level 3, but that's just such a far away that I think Marine Lord will have plenty of time to do that, to do the damage with the Jeffs or with the Limited.
Yeah, the thing is, he knows what he needs to beat. He needs to find a way to kill the Javs. So you can see with the Knights, he's very willing to dive in a little bit deeper, but that could be his downfall. So this is a very important part to consider here, because this is usually where if you can lose control of your knights because you're playing out of desperation, it will snowball so quickly. Now with this tower up at the front, Voldy is not confident in pushing into this because he knows those javelins are just going to pick off that mass of his. But he's got to think about what is next. And with 9 on gold, he's still committed to making knights. He just needs to get a little bit of damage done because as we can see, with these cisterns being at level 5, Marine Lord, he's not scared even for a second.
Yeah, this is not looking good for him. Like right now, the second batch of javelins are slowly but surely going to be coming out. And when that's going to be happening, the JD is in trouble. You may ask why. There is going to be enough damage out in the field to slowly but surely kill her. Sure, 13 archers are out. That's not enough. 13 archers against 21 limited is just not enough. eight jabs behind it will be able to clean everything. Knights are pretty much not going to be doing anything. They are just over here to be very, very scary and try to pick some villagers if possible. In fight, really, I don't see how they will be fighting against 23 limit. JD on the other end, we are taking a fight, really? No, we are not. No, exactly, we are not. And look at those jabs. Just a few hits, and that JD is looking significantly weaker. Like they have a very, very high base damage.
And Marine Lord now is not scared of anything. You can see he's not even producing any more Limitanei. This man says, I can go castle with ease now. And you see the Javelin stepping forward, but Limitanei always at the ready to snipe this back. And getting an archer kill here and there is massive. Now, with the Javelins reaching 8, you have a response to most things. And just like that, another Knight might just pay the price, but he just gets low, and the archers are the focus. They know what they need to focus on. Limitanei with the shields dropped, they are ready for it. And it looks like JD is coming for a smackdown, but she might be the one taking most of the damage here. The scout standing at the front, trying to do every hit he can. Voldy is not in a spot to take this, but he's getting +1 range defense and still sticking to feudal. The problem is, Marine Lord, he's reevaluated things, and he spent a little bit of gold. He's like, if I need to defend against this while I go for responsible castle, I'm gonna do it with my villagers running fast and my Javies hitting very hard.
At the same time, we are going slowly but surely. Castle Age, 11 villagers on gold are indicating it. 900 food in the bank. We are going to be taking a second berry patch because the first one ran out. And it ran out exactly when the Voldy is trying to raid it with knights. So it's a perfect time for Marine Lord. On the other hand, Voldy is stuck inside of the feudal age. Will be trying to probably hit that timing when the Marine Lords age up. And we are diving this. Okay, we are diving the woodline and diving the farms at the same time. One villager is going to be going down, but at the same time, that's a lot of damage on those knights. I'm not really sure if this was worth it. Sure, a lot of idle time had been dealt in the terms of for Marine Lord, but Voldy just there. I'm not sure if that's anything he can do against Mass Javelin.
Mass Javelins need a lot of... You can deal with them with archers, right? In the right amounts. The problem is, usually, you want a handful of horses to be able to get on top. With 24 Limitanei, there's no such answer. Golden Horn Tower coming up with 11 is a pretty solid response. And even if Voldy decided to go castle, he would still not have an answer of getting on top of these, because now those camels are going to be next on the menu, and he's stacking up those resources. If he decides to go for a bunch, that's going to be a lot of knights hitting a bit less than they should. But with this map control, Voldy is able to go out on the map and try to get a little bit of resources, but you can see these are the slowest villagers in all of the lands. They do not even have a wheelbarrow.
Yeah, this is a tough spot for the Voldy to be in, even though Marine Lord haven't killed a single villager. And we are diving the woodline yet again. Marine Lord reacting in time, not really. One villager gonna be going down, probably the second one. No, only one villager kill is gonna come out of this dive. So Marine Lord reacted nearly perfectly. At the same time, we are diving the berry patch, and one villager is gonna go down over there as well. JD is not gonna be hitting level 3 anytime soon. She still needs a lot of XP. Probably gonna be hitting it in the middle of the fight if we are gonna be starting to fight at the moment. Voldy is trying to go for the age up at the moment. But what we will be aging up? Most likely this is gonna be Guild Hall. There can be an argument made for the Royal Institute with 16 knights, but I don't think that 16 knights is not enough to justify it. For that reason, Guild Hall is the age up, but that's gonna pay off 10 minutes from now.
And the issue is, when you're not going to go for the Guild Hall, you need to win it in Castle. There's no win condition here for Voldy in Castle, because there's just not enough units. And now the first batch of camels are on their way as well. They are being made on purpose, and these are not the passive camels. So, you know, he wants this. But there's still a scary night raid around, so they could find some eco damage. But honestly, they would need to kill like 10 villagers to equalize this, because there's a raid of his own, and javelins, not as scary as knights, but they will be, because Mr. Voldy was a little greedy goose with no defenses to make this a safe haven for any villagers.
Exactly, and all of the Jevs over here are going to be killing a lot of vills. At the same time, we are diving the base, but villagers have a town center over there. There is no TC to hide in, and there are going to be a lot of vills dying. That's perfect for Marine Lord. Sure, Voldy is raiding, but Marine Lord's raids hurt way more.
And
Voldy needs to start running back home, and it's not looking perfect.
oh, and you can see he's sacrificing his horses along the way. He's completely distracted, but with all of these things happening everywhere on the map, of course he's going to be distracted. Nobody can keep a straight head except Marine Lord, the god of AoE.
Exactly. The one and only, the myth, the legend is gonna be microing and macroing nearly perfectly yet again. JD will be coming down over here, most likely. Exactly. She gets sniped by the Jevs. They just have so much base damage. And we are diving the TC yet again. JD got bought out and just die yet again. This is not looking well. JD Detch, all the villagers are running. There is nowhere to hide. We have a Castle Age units. On the other hand, Voldy, still upgrades are not even true, and this is not looking well for the man. Sure, the knights are gonna be getting back. Sure, even if we clear all of this right now, even if everything dies, it doesn't matter because just the damage in idle time and just the damage in villagers running and in villagers that we killed is gonna be enough. But I'm not even sure that we can kill all of this, and GG will be called. Marine Lord is winning the series 3-0.
Now, Marine Lord, he's looking at being the one who comes through to Serbia. Voldemort will have another shot next week, and that is just exactly what we will be expecting from these guys. Now, this was supposed to be tomorrow's set, but Marine Lord is not available to play tomorrow, so we wanted to make sure that he gets his chance to do so. So, guys, let's quickly take a look at our brackets for the rest of the weekend. So, after this game, we can now see that Marine Lord will be moving on to the Sunday round, while we still have some stacked matches for tomorrow. Now, my favorite ones that I'm looking forward to will be... Ooh, look at Myriad there. Myriad against Demu is going to hit a little bit different. Then, of course, B and Corvinus. I feel like Corvinus is the kind of guy who can actually shut B down with his crazy strategies, because B is a little bit crazy himself, right? So, what are your calls for the rest of this bracket?
We definitely have a very interesting matches to look forward to for tomorrow. I am excited to see Myriad against Demu, because last time they played against each other, if I am correct, it didn't go so well for the Demu, but we will see. We will see now. Numudan against MSN is also going to be very interesting. MSN is gonna have a little bit of a tougher cookie than he had right now with the cat, and yeah, sure, Marilord already done with the Voldy, so we are gonna see him on Sunday.
And Mali, thank you so much for this practice round. So guys, Mali just actually agreed to join me for a little bit of a meme practice round to see how this would go. But Mali, I'm so impressed with you, girl. Damn.
I'm a professional after all.
And you carried me through. I was busy setting up brackets, like automating stuff, and you were just like, I got this. So I really appreciate you. Molly, I'm very impressed. So tell me, who's the first person we're going to see you casting with?
Whoever you are going to give me.
So you're ready for anyone and everyone?
Ready for anyone.
Okay, in Twitch chat, calm down. I said, girl, it's different. It's like when I call women dudes, you know, it's different. And well-behaved, inspiration for the young lads. You should teach MSN some manners. Teach him about not stealing milkshakes, you know? The beef still alive. But Molly, I appreciate it. It was wonderful to have you here. And I've learned a little bit from your memery already. I love the fact that you bring a little bit of personality into it too. We can see it all the way through. So, boy, you do not steal the milkshakes. Nuh-uh. We're not stealing anyone's milkshakes here. See, all of you are, girl. But are there any shout-outs you want to do as we're finishing up today's stream, our very, very short stream?
I just want to shout out the Age of RTS for hosting the Homestead Cup, and I hope that you will have a lot of fun tomorrow and the day after that as well. Gentlemen, thank you so much for letting me the opportunity to cast over here, and it was a lot of fun.
I'm so ready to see you cranking on the caster desk again. So, Molly, thank you for joining us. And ladies and gents, oh, are you going to stream now?
I'm not really sure, but there is a chance.
Okay, well, then I'll go raid some other random person in the meantime. But guys, thank you for watching, and we will see you tomorrow at 4. So, be ready.